Sandy Shore live at the Seabreeze Jazz Festival 2014. We're hanging backstage a little bit today, and look who we have found. The MC of the festival, Ms. Becky Taylor.
Oh man, this has been so incredible so far. The weather's been perfect, and we've seen some dynamic combinations. Last night, Jim Peterick took the stage with Mindy Abair. I mean, how cool is that he's hanging out with Mindy Abair and he's saying Train.
And Eye of the Tiger.
Yes.
With his leopard guitar and his purple hair. I mean, that was just so cool.
Mindy's letting her inner rock girl come out.
Absolutely, and with her new album, Wild Heart, it's going to be a little bit more than we've seen and heard, but it's fantastic, because that's Mindy.
She's singing more, and that's so cool.
It is.
Yes.
Right now on the stage is a super group. It's Jimmy Haslip on bass, which is he's kind of going incognito.
Yes.
Jeff Lorber, Chuck Loeb, and Everett Harp playing right now. And Becky and I thought we'd take a few minutes and give you a couple highlights of this year's event. We've seen Dave Koz last night.
Yeah, the Dave Koz Summer Horns.
Wow.
I mean, imagine the best saxophonists together playing funk tunes. Some Earth, Wind and Fire, some Average White Band. I mean, it was Chicago.
It was amazing.
Yes.
And we've had a lot of new artists this year, young artists. Vincent Ingala, and who's 21. Jonathan Fritzen, and then today the Next Generation Band.
Yes.
Wow.
The Next Generation. I mean, all of these artists are individual artists, and the cool thing is coming together and doing these really like live jam sessions together, and we're all about supporting the next generation. I know that's a big thing of what you all focus on smoothjazz.com. It's because if we don't cultivate this next generation, you know, we're in trouble. I mean, we've got some superstars, but this next generation is bringing so much energy.
It's true. You know, Nicholas Cole is one of those artists who's just an amazing young talent and producer, and I know he's going to, you know, elevate up into the stratosphere when he's my age, which is a long time from now. But you know, I don't have children, so in a way it's kind of nice for me to invest in music around the world. And what smoothjazz.com has become organically, it's not like we set out to do this necessarily, other than I've always been a fan of new music. From a child on, I want to know the next thing, and these artists want to create. You know, we can't put them in a box and tell them we just want to hear the hits. Just because they're contemporary jazz artists, they're creators or producers, as you know. And it's always the next thing. It doesn't matter if they've been with us for 30 years or if they're just starting out and they're 15, right?
But you're also helping them color outside of the box with your support, because you tapped into Jonathan Fritzen's talent how many years ago?
Yeah. He's going on his 4th album now, and Jonathan contacted us 8 years ago, said he grew up listening to smoothjazz.com in Sweden, of all places, and being global is another big thing for me as a DJ like yourself, starting in a small town in California, and to be able to broadcast to the world. I mean, that's almost mind-bending, you know. I love it. And I told you would turn this around and start interviewing me, Becky.
Of course. Well, no, I love what you do at smoothjazz.com and smoothlounge.com. It's so awesome because we got to work together to keep this format going, and then again cultivate that new talent.
That's true. Thank you. And you know, I love your voice. I love your energy. You've been a fabulous contribution to this year's festival. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you based out of?
Well, first of all, you know, I live and breathe this format. I mean, I love the artists, and you and I have been doing this for such a long time. We've seen some of these artists kind of grow up, like the Eric Dariuses, the Brian Culbertsons, and you know, I used to say that Eric Darius was my son, and just recently he told me he's 30, so he can't be my son anymore. So anyway, I'm based out of Denver, actually, and do some tracking around the country. I'm on Seabreeze 106.3. Mark and Renee Carter do a fabulous job on this festival and the station, and they do what we do. We try to keep this format alive. So I'd like to just, you know, continue to encourage these artists, and we encourage people to come to festivals like this, because as the radio stations keep dropping on terrestrial radio, we've got smoothjazz.com, global radio, and that's where you're going to hear this music. You can go to seabreeze.fm. I mean, it's where this music lives.
That's right. And you know what Mark and Renee do for this community, not just to survive, but they're thriving. I mean, they've taken a place and they've not let go of it. They didn't listen to what's happening in Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York. Instead, they built it around their community here. And that's really what we're doing globally, is trying to make a global community, which is a little harder because we're all so different, but it's working. And what Mark and Renee are doing on the internet, same thing. You can get a little taste of the Seabreeze if you log on and listen to them online. And there's so many others. We're all one big family, one big gumbo, all supporting each other. That's what we're here to do with the music. But thanks for your time today. It's so good to catch up with you.
Thank you. It's always good to see you. People are here from all over the world. They travel from all over the place. So now it's all about listening online so that they can figure out what's happening, what's going on. And definitely we hope that people will come back to next year's festival. We're celebrating 16 years. Let's do 17 next year, girl.
Let's do 17 next year. That's right. And music is easy to buy now because it's online. That's the beautiful thing. Not to say goodbye to FM, but let's celebrate new technology, especially when it's helpful and fun, you know? Like, who doesn't love their mini iPad like I do? Thanks again. We are live at the Seabreeze Jazz Festival 2014. I'm Sandy Shore. This is Becky Taylor. We'll see you next year.